Hello, my name is Jonathan Rhodes. For my video presentation for this class, I chose to do a presentation on the Samaritans. I never knew about the Samaritans until my family and I went to the West Bank in Israel. I'm sure there's a lot of people that don't know that the Samaritans still exist as a people, as they have, as they claim, for around 3,500 years. And here's my presentation. Everyone knows that a Good Samaritan is someone very caring and willing to help someone else. But where did the phrase come from, and who are the Samaritans? So, are the Samaritans descendants of the tribes of Jacob? As they claim, the DNA suggests that the Samaritan Y chromosomes and the Jewish Y chromosomes show a common paternal ancestor. One of their great, 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 great grandfathers was the same one for both groups. On the other side, the Samaritan mitochondrial lineages show maternal ancestors closest to Iraqi Jews and Arabs. And this would just mean that the Samaritans men would marry non-Samaritan women, and that's something they still do today. They don't want to, but because of their numbers, they've allowed it. So that could explain the DNA. So actually both sides are kind of correct. Where do Samaritans live today? Actually, there's two population centers of Samaritans. One half live in Holon, Israel, close to Tel Aviv. The other half live in Kiryat Luza, Palestine, near Nablus in the West Bank. And they both mix together. They're still one big family. This slide shows my wife and I with a Palestinian soldier in the area. And on the right-hand side, my family and I are walking the streets of Kiryat Luzo with the Samaritan priest Husni Wasif on the way to the Samaritan Museum. Samaritans speak ancient Hebrew. There are 22 letters in their alphabet. Arabic and Aramaic are similar to this language. There's pictographs representing each letter. And if you would read this, the alphabet, it would start from the top right-hand corner. It would, starting with Aleph, Bet, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, Vav, Zan, Chet, Het, Tet, Yod, Kaf. And you just keep going down like that. And, it's similar to, like I said, the Arabic and the Aramaic, and modern Hebrew. According to the priest, he said it's influenced by the Assyrians, and it was during that time that they changed from the ancient Hebrew to the Hebrew they use today. This was one division between the Samaritans and the Jews, their language. Here's some photos of Samaritans praying at the top left, at the bottom, in the middle, they're slaughtering one of the sheep for Passover, and at the top right, you can see the high priest is holding up the Torah scrolls for each of the three tribes that they represent. And if the YouTube video will play above, it's got about 30 seconds of Samaritan music. It's supposed to be nothing like this in the world. I've never heard anything like it. It's no instruments, just the way they sing with their voice. This is just a photo of my family and I with the priest Husni Wasif at the Samaritan Museum with the Samaritan Torah scrolls in front of him. The 5 pillars of the Samaritan faith are: there is one God, one prophet, Moses, one Torah, Samaritan Torah, one holy mountain, Gerizim, and the day of judgment and retribution. If you'll notice, the 10 Commandments for the Samaritan religion are slightly different than the Christian and Jewish 10 Commandments. They omit the second commandment in the Jews and Christian about not making a graven image, and then number 10, they have, you shall keep holy Mount Gerizim, which the Lord chose to perform religious rituals. That's the difference with the commandments. Samaritan marriage. There are 4 main Samaritan families, so most marriages are between cousins. Everyone's related. There's more males than females, so Samaritan men are allowed to marry a woman from another faith if she lives in the community for 6 months and she converts. Samaritan women are not allowed to marry anyone but a Samaritan man, and because there's a limited number of women that keeps the Samaritan women available for the men, the Samaritan marriage follows old traditions that include a proposal, betrothal, and a marriage. The high priest or another priest performs the ceremony in front of the whole community, finishing with the signing of the marriage contract, a witness, and a dowry. Samaritan divorce. The high priest will give a man a divorce according to the Torah if his wife is unfaithful, neglects her home and family, has a terminal illness, mental illness, infertility, or just something objectionable. This doesn't seem like a fair deal for the women, but this is a patriarchal society. I'd like to just briefly mention about Samaritan art and Samaritan music. Because of the religion and traditional Samaritan art never shows animals or people because it would violate the Torah's prohibition of making a graven image. And their music is a type of folk music that's over 3,000 years old. It's just singing with chanting melodies and prayer and praise to Yahweh. Samaritans have become pretty much successful. They're teachers, bankers, civil servants, life insurance agents, high-tech trades, military, others. They're in a unique position because they have citizenship for both Israel and Palestine, so they have more opportunities than most to get a civil servant job, which just helps their prosperity. That concludes this presentation. Just a final footnote how this relates to the intercultural communication class with what we've learned. Samaritans are patriarchal, they're collectivist, they're high context culture, they're particularist, and they are a microculture. Thank you very much.